All right, one thing that it might be useful to know, and you're not required to use circles, but if you would like to use circles in your drawing, I'll show you how to think about introducing them. So the equation of a circle looks like this. This is the equation of what's called the unit circle. So I'm just working in this line right here. I've just written x squared plus y squared equals 1. So this is what we call the unit circle. Now the equations for circles, maybe let me disappear my stick figure dude. So here I have a circle, and you can play around with this circle too. Let's say you want a radius for your circle of 4, then you wouldn't actually type 4 on the right side of this equation. We see that the radius of this circle is actually not 4, the radius of the circle is 2. This number right here is actually the square of the radius of the circle we'll end up with. So if you do want a radius of 4, you would have to input the square of that radius here, which would be 16. So if you put 16 on the right-hand side of this equation, you get the true radius of the circle that you're graphing. So you can make this circle any size that you want. Just keep in mind that the radius that you want, whatever radius you want for your particular circle, you'll have to put the square of that radius on the right-hand side. So here we're back to the unit circle. Let's say you want to do something else with it though. Let's say you don't want to change the size of it, but you want to maybe shift it. So you want to maybe move this circle around because, for example, in this particular picture, a circle might be useful for this person's eyes. So if you want to shift this circle up to be on this person's face, then you would modify the associated variables. So let's say I want to shift this whole circle to the right by, let's say, 1 unit. I would take away 1 from the associated variable x. Let's say I also want to shift it up by maybe 5 units. Then I would take away 5 from the associated variable that controls the vertical position of whatever coordinates you have on your graph. So now I've got a circle on my face. I have one big eye that basically just covers my whole face. So I'm going to probably want to decrease the size of my eyeball. So I'll put, you can experiment with this, right? You can put 0.5, you can put 0.25, you can put whatever size seems to fit with the picture that you've drawn. Now, let's say 0.15 looks good to me. I'm also going to want to, unless I'm a Cyclops, which is totally fine, I'm going to want to shift this particular circle a little bit more. Let's say I want this to be my left eye. I would reduce the amount that this circle has been shifted to the right. So let's say 0.5, maybe that looks good to me. So that is my, I guess that's the eye on the left of the picture, but if you are this stick dude, it would be your right eye. But let's say you want another eye. So I can just copy this particular circle that I've made because it's a decent one. I don't have to do all that work from scratch. So here's my other circle eye, and I can now just move this circle eye to the right by a certain amount. So maybe I want to move this 1 unit to the right from where it is now, so 1.5 instead of 0.5. That looks okay. So here I've got 2 eyes for my stick dude, and that is how you can introduce circles, control the size of the circles by the radius, which is on the right side of this equation, and you can control the position of the circle vertically by playing around with what you take away from or add to the y variable before it's squared. So within the brackets, that's important. It has to be within these brackets. And you can shift the position horizontally as well by adding or subtracting a certain number directly to the x variable before you square it. Again, it's very, very important that you put it in brackets. So this is how you can add circles to your Desmos drawings.